Hey, hey, hey!
Bom dia!
Bom dia!
Sean didn't do it right.
No.
I know. We practiced that for hours as well.
Oh, we did. It was literally hours and hours like before the show.
Welcome back, team. Happy place on Monday. Lots to talk about this week.
Yeah, lots of talk, not
Yes,
lots
it's
of
fun.
action.
It's fun and fun.
All
Fun
talk
and
and no
fun.
action.
Yeah, fun and fun. Let's start with some fun. Didi, all about
Yes.
you to begin with. Tell us about your new vehicle. Here we
My,
go.
yeah, the new vehicle, man. It's a Land Rover Discovery, and it was a white one, and now it's like completely wrapped in Bitcoin style. With this car, we're going to drive a few months through Europe and visit some cool crypto companies, crypto people. I think I'm even going to, share a ride with people and then do interviews in the car or just up front of the car. We are going to do kick-ass stuff and also just, park the car everywhere in villages. And, let's see if people ask why the B, why be your own bank? And
I don't know if you should be picking people up in your car. They might think you're kidnapping them or something.
Yeah, it's just, only beautiful women that I can see standing, I will say, oh, no, it's just for an interview. And that's, it's the pickup line.
There you own bank. I love it. And who's got behind you there? It's Prime and
So, yeah, there are now at the moment two companies that are supporting the tour. So they are like supporters. That is the Machina Trader. That's a Swiss company. That is I think the evolution in automated trading. They created something really cool, a platform that you already can see, but soon they will go live, and yeah, you will be amazed about the functionalities in this automated traded industry that is combined with social media and everything in this Machina Trader platform. And the other one is Prime XBT. Yeah, you know that I love Prime XBT as an exchange, because you're able to spot trade, you're able to leverage trade, you're able to copy trade, you're able to play the turbo game. So for me, Prime is just a really cool exchange. And so yeah, those two companies, I wrote a letter to them. I said, you guys, I'm going to do this really cool tour. I'm going to try and create a new kind of media that will also attract other people to this industry, like normal people that are searching YouTube for travel, or searching YouTube for Land Rover Discovery, or searching YouTube for family business. And then, then they will find our Land Rover Bitcoin style, and they will be attracted to this industry a little bit more. And they were both very enthusiastic, and they were like, yeah, we are going to support it. It's not about $1 million and all that kind of stuff, Sean. It's all, I kept the sponsor / supporter packages very low, because I wanted to give every company in this industry the chance, because this is like for 3 months, and maybe the next 3 months we will drive all the way to the next couple of countries in Turkey, and maybe from Turkey I will drive to Thailand, and maybe from Thailand to Australia. So
can you drive to Thailand through Europe? Is that even possible?
No, yeah, of course you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can easily drive. You can. It's not. It is a vehicle to drive around the world, and that is still my goal, to be able to drive around the world. And it started with a white car, and this white car is evolving now to a red Bitcoin car, and it will evolve to a red Bitcoin car with a rooftop tent, and it will, the car will be like a startup in the crypto industry, starting with nothing, just an idea, don't know where this idea is going to end up.
Didi, quick question. I think most people watching this probably already know who you are. If you don't, this is Didi from the Bitcoin family. There's a link to his channel below. He makes excellent content on the daily. What's been the reaction of Portugal? I mean, you're obviously driving around in a Bitcoin van now. Do people know it? Are they interested? Are they coming up to you and asking what it's all about?
Yeah, I've been driving now for like 4 days with this one, because it was ready 4 days ago, and in these 4 days it already drew the attention from so many people. Just in front of my apartment here, I park it, and this kid comes running, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, and his mother comes like 20 meters behind him, and he's like, Mama, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, and the mother is, what is Bitcoin? And the guy, and he wanted to make a selfie. So, which gave me again the idea, because I saw, for example, Veza, he created his own cryptocurrency token now. So I'm going to talk today and tomorrow with two huge companies that want to create a token. So I'm going to create an own token now, and I will give this token to people that make pictures of the car and share them on social media so that they can, again, monetize their efforts to help this whole tour. So we are going to do really cool stuff. I was at the supermarket, and then you park this car at the supermarket, you know, and then the people just watch the car because, you know, who the fuck has a huge B on this car, and then the Bitcoin family on the hood, and you see the people looking, and that's enough for me. They look, and they see, they are reminded with this Bitcoin, they see be your own bank, they will think about it again, you know, and some people have the courage or are not afraid to go to you and to say, hey, how is it? What is Bitcoin? And I just do my talk, you know. I've been doing this talk now, I think, 1 million times in the last.
Oh, look, I mean, I think you're really right at the top of the tree as far as people that are out there on the daily promoting Bitcoin and blockchain in general. You do an amazing job. I mean, how many countries now? Hundreds.
Nah, now we are not. We just calculated yesterday, 42 countries already.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's and the list is going to be longer because I want to have like I really want to drive this car the whole world around. And I think it's really a cool car to do so. And you know, if we just pimp it with this rooftop tent and everything, and oh man, I can just always already imagine the social media when I pick you up in Singapore in this car, when we drive to the beach and we do an interview in this car and we sleep together in the car, not with each other in the car, Sean, don't get ideas. And then we just put the camera when we are sleeping and talking some more shit about blockchain under the beautiful stars and, you know, the sky. And cool media.
Oh, you're doing great stuff. And obviously we've got Lisa's movie in the wings. So between the two of you, I think you're going to take Bitcoin really to millions and millions of people. It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, of course, I will pick up Lisa as well, but that is all depending on the situation with this Satoshi Adam guy, you know, if that is like...
Okay. We'll have an Adam update at the end of the show, people. Hang in there for that.
He's had the boyfriend card revoked.
Maybe that was the update.
There's no title. There's no girlfriend title. There's no boyfriend card. Boyfriend card's been revoked.
Excellent. Well, let's jump into some charts. We'll have more of a chat afterwards. Actually, first, I think we wanted to look at some of the things that obviously impacted the price of Bitcoin since we spoke last. Obviously, we've had the news from BitMEX that caused a bit of a dip. Not as big as I thought it would, actually.
Well, no, this is the thing. So, like on Twitter, everyone was like, "Oh my God, we're going to 6,000," and I'm like, "Are you serious? We're not. It's not even going to break 10. Didn't even break 10. It actually hit perfectly on my buy zone. I was like, "Wow!" And I had everyone on Twitter telling me, going, "It's not going to last. It's going to drop. It's like that support's not very good." And I'm like, it's a good support. It's actually perfect. It's actually hits the fibs, and it's like it's going to stay, and it has. So far, so good.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think we've been above 10K now for a record number of days. So
yeah, so that's FUD with
67 days.
Yeah, so it's massive, and that FUD that we've had with BitMEX is just that. It's like, you know, all of this stuff comes with Tether, and it's like I say it week in, week out. It's like crypto is an unregulated market. These companies are in the Seychelles, or they're in the Cayman Islands, or, you know, they have specific regulations for financial trading. You know, BitMEX is in the process of making everyone KYC. That's happening by the 28th of Feb next year. So, you know, this is like, okay, so apparently Arthur Hayes has done something. They need to prove it. You know, it's not instantaneous. It's not going to happen overnight. This is going to be a long drawn out process. It's going to be longer than what, you know, is happening with my brother with the Satoshi stuff, and with the, you know, Dave Kleiman case that's been going on for forever.
What is happening there? What is the latest on that?
Oh, it just keeps drawing out. It just keeps getting postponed and whatever. So, you know, and that's kind of what happens with the Tether stuff. So they present some more stuff, it gets postponed, it moves on. It's like blah, blah, blah. It's just going to draw out and draw out and draw out. So, you know, it's nothing. It's seriously nothing. You know, the thing that you need to worry about in the market, and then we've got people, we've got all the Mt. Gox stuff happening at the moment. I got an email the other day about that, And it's like, you know, we've got people fudding saying that on October 15, everyone's getting their Bitcoins back. We're not getting our Bitcoins back. It's like, it's going to get drawn out again. It's not going to happen on October 15. It's like, I've heard for the last probably 3 or 4 years that it's going to happen. And then the market, you know, when it was super volatile, would crash and it would become really, really sort of, you know, like choppy and crazy. And, you know, people are learning that this stuff doesn't matter. This stuff doesn't make a difference, you know. And then also we've got, like, not a fan of Chico Crypto, but we've got his like rubbish in the market where he's got these clickbait titles and, you know, he's like, BitMEX, I predicted BitMEX fall and, you know, BitMEX is going to take the market out and we're going to dive. And then the next minute he's got, we're going to the all-time high. And it's like, seriously, dude? It's like, really? Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
you know,
my bitch.
No, but I think it's a lot of people just are going for the views and for the money again. You know, it's what we already talked about many times. Instead of you know, supporting this revolution or evolution of money into the right direction of this whole beautiful world that we can newly create as monetary. A lot of them are just being focused on accumulating wealth again, and they want to have a YouTube channel with millions of followers that they make millions of dollars, and it's it's the small island, and then they, you know, and then they create these strange videos that one day they pump it, then they dump it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Still stable as hell.
Yeah, it goes sideways, and it's like it moves $100, and it's like, so, you know, we dropped to $300, and all of a sudden we're going to 6,000. It's like,
you know, and people will get smarter, and people will realize that, like, I think at the moment 65% of the Bitcoins didn't move for over a year, you know. I think 45% didn't move over 2 years, and I think even 30% didn't move over 3 years. You know, these
but we also have to remember that a lot of these Bitcoins that are not moving as well are not ever going to move because, you know, people have lost the you know, the codes, and they've lost their access to them. So, you know, it's just not going to move.
So how many million Bitcoins does your brother own?
A lot.
Excellent. Should we have a look at the rather boring Bitcoin chart?
Oh, do we have to? It's rather boring. It's actually...
Well, do you think it's a good thing? I mean, obviously over the last few years, there's always been that narrative that, you know, Bitcoin would sort of reach a point and the price wouldn't leap around. What are your thoughts on that? Is it potentially a...
it kind of does that though in stages. So it's like, you know, we hit 8,000 and we sort of stayed there for a couple of months and we went sideways and we filled out this choppy pattern, and that's kind of what we're doing at the moment. Yeah. So if I jump on and I share the screen, we can see what's happening. So, you know, this is the chart. This is what I posted on TradingView actually. A little while ago.
Oh, Lisa, what a boring chart. Where's all the...
Yeah, there we go. There's Lisa.
Okay. Normal service resumed.
Normal service. So this is... I thought I'll show you the boring chart first, and then I'll go to this one. So this is my reigning Bitcoin chart. So, so it's like Raining Men, but you've got to sing the Raining Men tune to the Raining Bitcoin chart. So God bless Mother Nature, she needs her Bitcoin too.
Has that been your anthem after Adam didn't give you the girlfriend title?
Yeah.
It's not about him giving me the girlfriend title. There's more to it. There's so much. Behave.
Yeah, you know what it is, John. I did call Adam, and he said, like, but she's just not deserving it, Didi. She's not deserving it.
Okay, it's raining beer tears. What do we got?
It's going to be raining Lisa tears.
Oh no!
I'm only joking. I'm going back to the boring chart. All right, you guys can behave.
We will.
Go slap.
Maybe.
All right. Okay, so I've lost my train of thought. So this is the chart that I have on TradingView, and this is my long-term chart that shows us going to 26,000. So I've spoken about this chart over the course of every week, basically on hard forking here. So we're in the B wave at the moment. So we could be in this sub B wave. So this potentially may not have finished, and we could get an extension which will drop us down to about 10,100. So don't be surprised if we do get a drop down to this region. I've got a couple of buys in this sort of lower region just in case we do. Or we could continue just straight up from here. So there's enough waves in here for this to be an ABC complete, which is a B wave. So yeah, so we've got enough here, or we could go one more down, because a B wave can be a WXY as well. So we could have, so if I chuck some waves on that, if we go a WXY, so we've got an X and then a Y to come down here. So that could be what we're looking at. Or we could have this wave complete and we're already heading up. So, you know, we've got these two patterns. If you're in spot, you can just, you know, sort of mitigate your risk and just sort of, you know, spot buy and sort of DCA. I don't think we break below this blue sort of support line. I don't think at this point either we break 10,000. I think we're holding 10,000. I think that's a given right now. I think the exchanges and, you know, everyone sort of want Bitcoin to go higher. So I really believe that we will hold this region and we'll hit this sort of choppy region for the next little bit. So if we go back, we had a similar pattern in base 2 where we've got this breakthrough and then we've come down and we've just gone choppy. So we've got this here, we've got the breakthrough here, and I think we're just going to go, you know, sort of sideways choppy for a little bit. We've got, this is about 12,000, so we're going to hit that 12,000 sort of resistance, which is a really strong resistance. So if we go back to the daily, and we can see sort of going back through here, we've got quite a bit of resistance like the whole way through. So, you know, this 12,000 mark is a really hard region to break. Yeah, so we're coming up. So this is our full chart. And, you know, potentially we've got a 26,000. I see the 26,000 happening before February next year when KYC is implemented onto sort of BitMEX and a lot of the exchanges. So I think this is really going to pump up. KYC will come in and then it's all going to drop back down. And I think we see like around the sort of 7,000-8,000 afterwards, which is a really nice correction. And then we should start moving again. So yeah, so that's kind of what I see.
So you think that one of the reasons that the Bitcoin price is going to pump up to 26K is that people can still pump it up without KYC at the moment, so they can make millions without being verified, so that they can exchange on time to take their profits?
Yep.
Oh my God, I thought the same.
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah, I definitely think so. I think, you know, this is still very unregulated, and KYC is the first like sort of implementation of the regulation. And while it's not, there's no KYC on BitMEX, there's no KYC on Bitfinex, you know, you don't have to. There's no KYC on Prime XBT. So, you know, these exchanges and these whales can basically do anything. So, you know, if people think right now we're dropping, there's no way these exchanges are going to let that happen. So I don't see us breaking 10,000. You know, if we do, it's like, I'll be like, oh, I'm completely wrong. But this is just like from being in the industry, in the crypto industry for such a long period and knowing how these exchanges work and how the minds of whales think, it's like shorters are just going to get wrecked. They seriously just going to get wrecked.
Lisa versus Crypto Chico. Yeah. He's saying the, what's it called? The gap is getting filled. Crashing.
The gap is
he
not
changes his mind every 10 minutes. As you,
like, one day he's saying it's not getting filled. The next day, it's like he keeps telling me to smash the like button. I'm going to smash him through the computer. It's like, seriously, Crypto Chico. It's like the gap's not getting filled. It's like, anyway, don't get me started. He's really annoying. I unfollowed him because he annoyed me so much.
Okay.
I'm sure he doesn't care. It's like, it's like I'm like one little person. It's like, I'm sitting there like jumping up and down and he's like, whatever.
Oh, well, let's see who's right. We'll bag on him if he's totally wrong.
Yeah.
Ethereum, what's happening?
Ethereum is perfect as always. It moves perfectly. I don't know why I don't just trade Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. So it went up. It hit the target on my squiggle. It's come back down. It's going to go up in a minute and then it'll come back down and then it'll go up. So it's like, yeah, Ethereum's just going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, staking's
Sean,
not too
that's how
far
easy
away.
trading is.
Ethereum is.
What's that?
That's how easy trading is. Just
simple.
Up and down. Just up and down. Simple.
Yeah, simple. So if we zoom sort of this, we can see that it's up and down. So it's wedged in between the MAs at the moment. So we've got strong support on the 200. We're coming up to the 100. We've been rejecting. We're coming down. So that's pretty much how Ethereum's been working.
That's why they call it a simple moving average.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on price impact with the staking that's obviously about to come into play on Ethereum?
Yeah, well, I talked about the staking with Ethereum quite a while ago, and they need a fair bit of Ethereum for 2.0 to even happen. So
2.0 is a couple of years away, but the actual sort of staking of Ethereum, I think we're going to
but it's gonna start staking. But the thing is, it's like that's a long process.
Yeah.
So as to returns and that sort of thing from the staking on Ethereum, I'm not sure, how good that's going to be. Because it is such a long process for 2.0 to sort of come into the market and come into play. So I'm just like, I kind of think, Ethereum, like Bitcoin, is really trapped in this region for at least the next couple of months or even the next month. It could all of a sudden take off and just do something completely different. But I kind of see this sort of going in this sideways sort of motion, for a little bit longer. Yeah. So, we probably get the ABCDE on Ethereum as well, which will sort of probably take us sort of like A, B, C, D, E, something like that. So, bringing up, so this would be, up on this previous support coming, it'll be sort of like quite a drawn out pattern.
It's going to be an interesting one, talking to people that are very much entrenched in that community that, understand the space, that actually use Ethereum for their businesses. For them, staking 32 Ethereum, which could be in play later this month or next month, we're all going to do it. The rewards, some of the other people in this space that I've spoken to are like, well, the rewards aren't big enough for me. I'm making more on these other staking platforms. Wrong move, in my opinion. I think this is a safe bet. It's a nice amount of interest.
I think a lot of the, sort of institutional investors will come in and put like staking into ETH, and it is a safe bet as far as they're concerned. Yep. It's like it's better returns than what they're currently getting in a lot of the the bonds and the stocks and that sort of thing. Correct. So if you look at it from that perspective, then it's really going to take off with the staking sort of issues that are and stuff that's happening. So it could absolutely go crazy, but I kind of see the next month in both Bitcoin and Ethereum sort of holding in that kind of sideways.
I hope so, Lisa, because I want to buy some more before I can stake it at a good
Well, buy it now. Yep. It's probably not going to get much cheaper than this.
I agree.
So, people are saying sort of, these lower sort of ranges, and I really don't see that. We've got strong supports on both Bitcoin and Ethereum in these regions. And, I kind of really don't see anything, unless we have some sort of global disaster, it's like, yeah.
What, you want a bigger one than the one we've already got?
I don't know, 2020 is kind of a write-off, like, you know, sort of socially. Although 2020 for me has been a really productive year, so I can't complain. I've got scripts done, I've got, you know, all of that sort of happening. So, you know, I've got books re-released and yeah. So it has kind of forced me to sit down and do stuff rather than just be sort of here, there and everywhere. So, which I would prefer to be, but yeah, whatever.
So I'm not sure if we're looking at other sort of altcoin charts today, Lisa.
We
but,
have got a few.
I was going to say, I mean, these sort of sideways action of Bitcoin and Ethereum. What are your thoughts on that being a good time for alts?
Well, that's a really good time for alts because for me, it normally sort of allows them to finish their patterns. The only thing that's a little bit of concern, and it's like, so we've got... oh my God, they've cleaned it up on me. Damn it.
Are you about to show us your bonk chart?
No, I was going to show you the Bitcoin dominance chart and they've cleaned it up.
Hey.
That's annoying.
Oh, well.
I was showing you this before the show. And it's like all those spikes. It was a spike on the Bitcoin. I should have screenshot it. So there was a spike on the Bitcoin dominance chart that went 274. And it's like, they've cleaned it up. Damn it. Anyway, let's have a look. Yep. No, they've completely cleaned it up. That ruins that.
Quick question for you both on Bitcoin dominance. Obviously, the likes of Tone Vays and so forth have been calling for years for the death of the alts and how it really holds Bitcoin back. Price-wise on Bitcoin, what are your thoughts on the really? I mean, we're seeing sort of more alts come into the market now. A lot of pundits were saying that'll be gone by now. Does it hold Bitcoin back, in your opinions? Short and sweet answer maybe on that one.
A little bit, but not. No, yes and no. But you've got margin trading. A lot of the coins and tokens that we have margin trading on, it doesn't hold them back because even if it moves sort of 1% or 2% a day, you're still able to make 20 to 200% a day, depending on your margin or whatever, and how extended you are on that. So yes and no, it holds Bitcoin back because there's so much, other sort of, it's watered down in the market, but majority of the time I think it's okay because, it's a margin traded asset. And yeah, it kind of doesn't really make a huge difference.
Eddie,
so they've cleaned up both these charts actually.
Sean, I think short term, yes. Short term, it's holding Bitcoin a little bit down. Long term, I don't think. I think it's a good thing because, so many people, so many different people in this world that won't be attracted by Bitcoin, but it will be attracted by some kind of a crazy, stable currency or crazy DeFi currency or crazy other disruptive currency that is created to disrupt or decentralize some kind of industry, sports coin or whatever, you have even Barcelona tokens in Spain now with the socios. Yep. So people that will be attracted to football, they will go into this industry through probably socios, or people that will be into the real estate market will go into this market through a real estate coin. Yep. So it does draw new money into the industry. And of course that will withhold Bitcoin a little bit from growing in the beginning, but at the end, these people will understand, oh shit, and everything is crashing. All these DeFi projects are losing 60, 80%. Okay, Bitcoin only lost 20. And then they will start to hedge again into Bitcoin as the new store of value, goldish. So yeah, I think it's positive in the long term, but in the short term, yes, we could have exploded a huge, big green dildo a little bit earlier if it didn't, but did go into Bitcoin.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we do a show on Wednesdays called One Bitcoin and 32 ETH, which we're in a bit of a race to see who can trade our way to those. And we do fundamental analysis of different projects. We had Lisa on last week, and one of the things we looked at is this game called Axie Infinity, which is just growing exponentially at the moment. And, a lot of these people that are playing this game, they don't know anything about crypto, but simply that exposure to this blockchain game where they're then going on to, buy a token to increase the abilities of their characters. You had thousands and thousands of people around the world that got this airdrop of literally a couple of $1,000 just because they were playing this game and using Uniswap. It's actually the second most used app on Ethereum. So it's things like that that fascinate me, where they're not coming in to trade cryptos, but they're learning about blockchain and crypto just by being exposed to this game. And then, as you say,
but are they learning about it by?
Well, I think when you think about it, all these people got an airdrop of thousands of dollars from using that Uniswap wallet to get entry to the Axie Infinity token. Of course, a lot of them were just these people in the third world who were sitting there earning money playing this game. All of a sudden, they're a couple of $1,000s up, and they've, then they have to figure out, well, what do I do with this? How do I sell out of it or whatever? So that's where, the Ethereum and Bitcoin come into the consciousness, and they want to learn a bit more about that. So, I disagree with these pundits, some of whom are my friends, just screaming and yelling about these altcoins, shitcoins, as they call them. I think that's too much of a generalization.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a huge
back
difference
to charts.
between shitcoin and shitcoin. Yeah, back to your charts.
back to the charts. I left
back
the
to the charts
screen.
before we start.
Let's look at some shitcoin charts.
All right, so XRP. So
Oh,
I wanted
that's
to.
the shitcoin of the shitcoin. Wait, I have 2 bananas. Let's get this off track.
Are you dating Brad Garlinghouse now, Lisa? Have you left Adam back for Brad Garlinghouse?
Oh my God! No,
Lisa,
I want to show you
doing?
this.
Your next boyfriend's name's Brad.
Please give me strength.
He was the richest man in the world for a while, wasn't he?
Hang on. Bye.
Tell us about XRP, Lisa.
All right. So I wanted to tell you about XRP because shut up. I don't think anyone's going to watch this anymore. It's like they're just like going to be like, what the hell?
The XRP army, well, there's loads of them.
Okay.
It has had a pump. Why?
It has had a pump. And the thing is, before we went into a bull market the last time with Bitcoin, XRP started going into a certain pattern and it started forming, this is the daily. So we started getting this this wedge that we've like, downtrend channel sort of thing that we've got right here on the previous chart in the daily before we went to $3.30. So this is happening again in XRP. So a lot of the alts at the moment on the dailies are sort of, bottomed out and they're breaking out of these patterns, which is really exciting. So, which to me also shows that Bitcoin's going to continue up. So it's like, when I look to the alts and I see these patterns and I'm like, okay, so this is the daily here on XRP, we've broken out. So if we zoom in on this chart here, we can see that we've retested here and, we'll probably sort of settle around the sort of 24-ish cents mark and then take off. So, I've got a target of 43. So you're almost doing 100% on your money there. I think it's about sort of 75, 80% that you're going to make on XRP on this trade. So it's a longer term trade. Obviously it's going to take a little bit of time.
When you say longer term, are we looking at 4 to 5 years or?
200 years, Sean. You're going to $10 in 200 years. And to the next chart. Let's take a look at Litecoin.
So, no, it's going to like $589, I'm sure, isn't that what XRP is supposed to do? $589. It's like I'm holding my XRP until I get $589. Yeah, it could be a long time.
Okay. You've started with the king of the alts. What else have we got?
We've got BSV.
All right.
So I haven't done.
I need you to help me here. I want to review BSV on my Wednesday fundamental show. I'm a fan. I don't think one of the other boys is at all, so it should make for some good debate.
Yeah.
We need to find someone to donate a couple of $100 to us to do that, so we can review it properly.
Yeah,
you
probably need to talk to Jimmy.
Why not your brother?
I can talk to my brother.
Why not? He's doing shows.
Is he?
He needs to be in Sean's show.
I don't know if he does shows. I don't even know what he does.
I think I see.
I have interviewed him before, Didi. I flew
Yeah,
to
I know.
Canada to meet him.
Yeah. So no, he can.
Man, he has 1 million bitcoins.
I don't know. I don't know what he does and doesn't do. It's like you have to talk to him.
Come on the show.
You guys are in full form today. It's like I'm just going. Do you need me here?
Yes.
What's happening with BSV? They've just had their conference.
So they've just had their conference. It's moving really nicely. So we've held this long-term support. We're kind of moving sideways. We're stuck a little bit under the MAs, but we've just had a bullish cross on the daily. So, which is a really exciting, good sign, which I think we're going to sort of really move like higher over the next little bit, which is in line with BTC moving higher as well. So when we have a look at all these charts and we see these patterns, it's like, to me, it says BTC's going higher, BSB's going higher, Ethereum's going higher, XRP's going higher. So they're all going higher. So yeah, and they're all on long-term supports, so, or near long-term supports. So we might retest these long-term supports, we may not. You know, either way, we're kind of in this range here that everyone's just walking through.
How many kids do you have, Lisa? Because I've seen like 20 walking by now, and they all have different clothes. You know, the one. So are they changing all the time, or what?
Yeah. See that one that just walked past, Jesse, the older boy. So he's 25. So do you guys know The Secret?
Yeah, the law of attraction.
Yeah, law of attraction. So the movie The Secret, if you've watched that, there's a boy with a bike and he's sitting there and he's like dreaming of the bike. Have you seen that? That's Jesse.
Is it at the playground with a basketball court? That one? Is it that
Yeah,
scene?
yeah. So there's a scene there, and then he goes back home and he's sitting there and he's under his doona and he's got like the torch shining on the picture that he's drawn, and he's using the, you know, the manifestation techniques and the law of attraction, and yeah, to get his bike. And then his granddad knocks on the door, and yeah. So yeah, serious. So my company, Visions MCP, like we helped like supply talent and stuff because we were a modeling and casting agency. So, and yeah, two of my kids are in that.
And The Secret, that's really cool, man. That was one of the first books and movies of documentaries I saw about the law.
Yeah. So it's really exciting. We got to meet some really cool people. So in the process of that all happening. So yeah. Anyway, I do.
What's our secret coin of the week? Do we have one?
Do we have one? Yes, we do.
Oh.
Where are we? There we go. Okay. So this is Egld, which was previously Elrond. So we've been in this sideways forever pattern. And our RSI has settled, and our MAC...
Elrond have changed their name to Egld?
Yeah. So what happened was...
Why? I mean, Elrond sounds like a dodgy uncle from Mississippi. It was a great name.
So Binance came in, and Binance sort of went, okay, you're going to be Egld now, and we're going to, for every, I think it was 100 or 1,000 tokens, I can't remember, they gave you one Egld. So it then increased the price, which then decreased the price, which was crazy. So, you know, at the time, Elrond was about 24,000 or so, I don't know. And then it went up when they sort of compress the tokens, I think they call it. Anyway, yeah, so it went up to 35, quickly dropped down. We've come back down to about, what are we? We're $8 at the moment. So we're on a support finally. So we're settling on, we've got a horizontal support, we've got a diagonal support. This should hold, fingers crossed. And this should start going up. So we're on a 12-hour chart here, and if we look at the lower time frames, it's looking really bullish. So we've got, when we get these final dumps, so we've had a couple of big dumps with Elrond. So if we have a look, we've got a little bit more.
Just quickly, so obviously it was up at 24. Are you saying that the price effectively halved because you got another token, or has the price actually dropped in real
No, well, the price has actually dropped. So so what happened was Elrond was like, I think it was 24 cents, or it was like, it's times 1,000 anyway. So which means it's like, it went to $24 and it was 24,000. I don't know, but it was not worth very much for a token. And then Binance came along and they decided they were going to change everything. And obviously Elrond's a project that it went up like 6,000% in a very, very short period. So dropping down to this rate, probably a lot of people, if they're holding coins, would have lost a lot of money. But if we have a look at the lower time frame charts, they're on very bullish sort of moves. We've got RSI has hit the bottom. So this is a 2-hour chart. So if we go to the daily as well that I showed you before, it's also, the RSI is very low. We've had the capitulation, which we always look for. We've had 2 lots of capitulation here. So within this region, which is a good sign that we're going to get a reversal in the next little bit. So we've got the MACD on the higher time frames is also starting to turn up. So, and cross over. So, you know, it's kind of looking good.
Okay, interesting. You've been a big fan of Elrond for
yeah, I really like this project. I like what they're doing. I like how it's staked. I like the DeFi side of it. And yeah, this is my buy of the week. Okay. I really think it's going to go places. I think first target, we're going to get about $12.50. Second target, we're going to get about $15.60. I'll throw this chart up onto Twitter, but I think at this point, we're going to start to get some movement. So, yeah.
Interesting. I think one of our friends, Kyle in Copenhagen, Didi, might have had something to do with Elrond as well.
Yeah, I think he is an investor there as well, indeed. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other one I'm looking at as well, I've been in this and I've rebought some more. I've added to my bags in DOT. So we've got this strong support here, which is the yellow line. So we've been holding that for quite some time. The visual range volume profile is showing that we've got lots of money coming into this region. So, you know, it doesn't look like it's going to drop down. If we do drop down, there's not a lot of support in this region, but I think we should hold here because this is where all the major support is. It's where all the money's coming in. You know, we've got a little bit of, this is a 4-hour chart. So coming up, we've got a little bit of resistance. You can see we've got resistance on the RSI. We've got resistance here. So we could get a little bit trapped in this region for, you know, maybe a week or so. And then we should break out and then start heading up. So this is also in line. So if we look at this chart, we look at, you know, all the charts that I've shown you today. Yes, they can break down. But most of these charts are on long-term support levels. Like obviously DOT doesn't have a long-term support. It's a new coin. So it doesn't have all of that. But if we draw from what we've got, we have got strong support in these regions. So on the lower time frames, we have got some bullish momentum coming into the market here. And we've got some nice volume sort of coming in to hold these regions. So yeah, so Dot, I think, is a really good buy right now, considering I have a $15 long-term target on this. So we're under $5. So, you know, that's 200% that, you know, you're going to sort of be looking at that, you know, over the probably, you know, I say long-term, it could be 6 months. So, you know, 6 months is a really good return. It could be just with the bull run. So, you know, if I'm looking at the Bitcoin bull run, I'm looking by February next year. So that's sort of like 4 to 5 months. So, you know, they're all sort of in those ranges. So, yeah, I really think Dot's a really good buy and a good long term.
At this again, actually. I don't disagree. It seems to be at a price point that...
yeah.
It's a reasonable buy at the moment. Do you have any
So
dot?
there we go.
Sorry?
Do you have any dot?
Yes, I have a bag full of dots.
He's got a lot of dots. He's a bit dotty.
Also slang for acid, you realise.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I also...
See, I don't know these things.
Yeah. No, I don't use those things as well. It's only Sean that knows this, Lisa, because she's been using it.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know any of this. I'm like, what? Really?
Fantastic episode of Joe Rogan looking at the role of ayahuasca and acid and how religion came about. You should check it out. I'll put a link below actually for
the ayahuasca. Actually, I've done a little bit of research into the ayahuasca. So it's really, really good for addictions and for breaking addictions. And it was something that my ex had looked into because he did have a very, very serious drug addiction. Which I don't know what happened to him, and I not going back there, but just on the subject of the ayahuasca is, yeah, it's actually has been like they're doing studies on it at the moment with addiction, with various types of addiction and various types of sort of psychological issues that cause addiction. And they're getting really, really, really good results on breaking the habits of like long-term heroin users, long-term cocaine users. And yeah, so that's a really exciting thing in, you know, the psychology sort of realm.
It is, Lisa. You know, unfortunately we currently live in a world where government plays way too much of a role in our finances and in what we choose to do with our own bodies. I think Didi's in one of the few countries in the world that is a hell of a lot more open-minded on that front.
It is, Sean. It is. And about ayahuasca, you know that I did ayahuasca a few times. So yeah, I think it's one of the best thing that I ever did in my life. I also own the domain name, you know, ayahuascaforall.com. You know, I did register it like 6 years ago or something when I did my first ayahuasca trip.
Why were you doing ayahuasca though? Just for the experience to like the out of body experience, or did you have
It just came on my path. It was a very strange story. I was on a festival with my wife. It was called Lowlands. It's a huge festival in the Netherlands. I think one of the biggest one of Europe. And it started to rain. And so when it started to rain, we went into this cinema that was on this festival. There was also a cinema where you could watch movies, like cult movies. So we walked into the cinema and there was this movie playing called Sick Birds Die Early. And I saw that one, and that was about a group of French investigators or adventurers that went into Peru, into the jungle, to do a sort of a kind of ayahuasca. That one was called Iboga. That was the manly form of ayahuasca. So I saw what they did and what they experienced. And then after the festival, when I was home, this guy comes to polish my floors. And he started to talk to me about, Didi, last week I did ayahuasca. I said, what is it? It's a tea and you drink and then you get, and I said, I just saw this movie about it. Yeah, he said it's the same, but ayahuasca is a little bit more like a sweet grandmother. You know, Iboga is a harsh grandfather that, you know, puts everything in your face, and ayahuasca is a little bit more sweet. And I was like, where did you do it? Here and here. So I said, okay, I'm up for it. I want to see what it does. I still had some issues with the death of my mother at that time and everything, you know, so I thought, let's go for it. So I did my first ayahuasca privately at home. I paid some extra to this woman to come at my place at home, you know, because I didn't want to be in the group and all that stuff. And that was when I had my first ayahuasca experience. And it gave me like I think that I still have the list somewhere, more than 27 insights in life, in my life, in the world, and the energies and the flows. And that was like such a beautiful feeling, but also very painful feeling, because I could exactly see what I was doing wrong in my life. And ayahuasca just shows you
So
this in a
did you have the
way.
support there while you were doing the ayahuasca? Because I know when they do the ceremonies, they have psychologists, and they have, you know, people there that can help you while you're doing that. So, you know, that's when you do go to certain ceremonies. There was one in Denmark, and there was one, I haven't personally done it, but like I've read a lot and I've spoken to a lot of people about it. There's, you know, a few in the USA and in South America. But they do have psychologists, and they do have doctors there, and they do have people that are able to, you know, walk you through these emotions that come up.
So yeah, and I know what it is. In the Netherlands, they do them daily. You know, it's not that it is that special anymore. And in the Netherlands, you don't need to be a doctor for it. You know, it needs to be in a ritual setting, because if it is a ritual setting, then it's legal. There's one big church in Rotterdam. It's called the Santo Daimo Church. That one is the only church in all the Netherlands that can do it legal, like weekly. But in the Netherlands, you just have normal people that did ayahuasca that will guide you, you know, spiritual people. But it's not like we have doctors and medics and all that stuff. I never had that in any of the trips with ayahuasca I did. It's also, yeah, some people refer to it as drugs. I can't relate to that as drugs, because I use all the kinds of drugs in the world that there are, and it's just all not comparable with ayahuasca. You know, it's something very. I will give you one example, because else the show will be too long. For example, at the time I did ayahuasca, I was always working. So I had my own business, my companies, my employees, and then at home I was still working. You know, I was behind my laptop working every day. And then once one of my daughters, Julie, comes walking up to me, and she's like, "Dad," and I'm like, "I'm working." Again, "Dad, I'm working." "Dad, please fuck off, I'm working." You know, this attitude you get when you're into the computer and you neglect your own kid. And in ayahuasca, you zoom out, you see this eagle view of what is happening. You see yourself sitting, you see a daughter approaching you, and then you see your daughter asking you the question, and then you fly into your daughter, and you see from your daughter's eye, and you feel from your daughter's emotions what she felt when I said fuck off. And the pain that you feel at that moment, the pain you experience, and ayahuasca feels like real pain. you can just see that your daughter feels like, wow, my dad doesn't love me, he just loves a laptop, a computer. You will never do that again, because the only thing she wanted to ask is, can I take some candy from you, you know? So it would have taken me 1 second to say, oh yeah, what's up? Oh, Dad, I want some candy. Okay, of course, go ahead, and you work. But people and parents don't realize how much pain they bring their kids when they just pay more attention to the laptop, to the phone, to the social media, to all that stuff, instead of the kids that they put on the world to educate and to grow up.
But don't you think you can get like the same thing with deep meditation, you know, like a deep meditation, than you can from taking ayahuasca or drinking the ayahuasca tea? So, you know, there's also studies that, you know, that sort of deep meditative state that you go into is the same thing. So why do you need to take a drug or, you know, a tea?
I fully agree with you. You know, but I can explain also why I don't think that it is completely right what you're saying. Because if you're a Buddha, you're the best Buddha, like in wherever, you know, in what is it called, in India, on the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
These people know how to meditate. These people know how to go in this deep state. But in our society, most of us, we are just too, you know, we can't. You can't.
Ayahuasca might save you about 10 years of getting to that point, would be.
Yeah, it could do, exactly. But it's like, you know, like I had such I had, you know, probably 2 years of my life that was such a stressful sort of, you know, period that I never want to go back to. You know, and that person, I don't want to go back to either, because I think he's still in that region. And coming out of that and going into therapy and then learning how to meditate and learning how to sort of control those emotions and see, to feel the empathy that for other people and that sort of thing. It's like, I didn't need the ayahuasca to do that. Like, I did look into ayahuasca at one stage and thought it might be the answer. It might get me out of this quickly. It might get me moving forward. But the real work comes from sort of within. It comes from,
Lisa, I'll put a link below this video. There's Joe Rogan just did a show a couple of days ago with a guy who really, it's been the first research into the use of mushrooms, ayahuasca, different psychedelics right throughout human history.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan,
look into this, and I really advise you to, and the people watching, have a look at this. And I think to a large degree, society is
Joe Rogan as a whole, though, like
history.
A lot of his shows, like I love Joe Rogan. I love what he brings, and the sort of different view to the media.
More to the point, I've spoken to Didi about this, and he told me it was one of the best life-changing things he's ever done. So,
no, but but I completely agree with Lisa. We all have the strength to do it ourselves, but we are not able to find these strengths because we're living in this crazy society where we are abstracted and distracted by COVID flus, by all that shit that they create around us, so that we can't find ourselves anymore.
But that's the thing. This year, this COVID year, has forced me to do that. That's the thing. So it's forced me to, focus on therapy. It's forced me to, get strong. It's forced me to put myself first. It's forced me to respect myself, respect, my boundaries, and not accept less than I deserve. So
but that's you. And the
that is me, but everyone can do that.
Of course, I agree. But the other 99% just spend watching Netflix series.
They have. But if you saw me, like, you guys have known me for a little while, and Sean's known me a little bit longer, and he kind of met me while all this was happening. So I was in this really, and this Coin Runners, my movie, is a little bit about this, and I was in this really toxic relationship, with a drug addict. He broke my ribs. He did all these horrible things. And this is, he stole money. I repaid money for him. I did so many things that I shouldn't have done. Like, especially I should have not repaid the money. I should have, made him do that. But I didn't want to see him go to jail. I didn't, I wanted him at that point to get better. And it's like, but that's the thing I'm trying to say. It's like, you're the only person that can do that. And it's like, so, everyone that sits there at home and they're sort of going, she did it.
It is, but ayahuasca just makes it a little bit, it simplifies the use. Just compare it to cryptocurrency. People that see Bitcoin and are investigating, like, oh my, no, and we need a wallet, and we need that, and we need that. They will need to use an app that is very easy to buy Bitcoin because they are just too lazy to discover this whole world. Yeah. Most people are too lazy to discover themselves. They don't take the time because they just want to accumulate wealth. You're working, you're running the hamster wheel. I'm not going to look inside. I'm going to look outside. I'm going to project something outside that everybody thinks, wow, what a beautiful person. And I'm not going to, it doesn't matter who I am. It doesn't matter what other people think that I am. So people are spending time to this. And this is the shift you can see in crypto as well, from the revolutionary people now to people again that are only showing what they are, not the tools that we are now needing to use to change this world. So for those people, I think ayahuasca is a shortcut, is this wake-up call where they can see, like, wow, shit, it's really that obvious. It's like visiting a psychiatrist for like 60 times, but then you do it in one day, like, it's
I can see that they say that when they do these ayahuasca camps that people expose their whole childhood and every sort of issue they've ever had, but in those camps, you've done it by yourself, but in these camps they have psychologists and doctors and everything there because obviously if it does go too far, people can have a psychotic break. So, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're looking into that, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing to do by yourself. It's like, I'm not an advocate for drugs. I'm just not.
No, but that's that's exactly why I did register this domain ayahuascaforall.com, because I intended to create some kind of a forum on there where people could rate the ayahuasca ceremonies they had everywhere in the world. I just don't have the time yet to create this website. But because yes, there are some shamans out there that are like just not good, and you have like places that are really good. And I think people need to be able to give their opinion about those locations they visited, you know, and then share
well, yeah, that's the same as, you know, anything. It's like we've got exchanges that are really good, and then exchanges that are not really good. So, you know, and that you're going to lose all your money on. So, yeah.
No, you should definitely do that, Didi. It's a good idea. I haven't done it yet. I
the
really want to. But a website like that where, you know, because it is quite a big leap for people to know, because, you know, it's a pretty intense experience from what I've heard. I'm yet to hear anyone come back with anything bad to say about it, but
it's you will feel the pain you feel. Sean, if Lisa had 2 years of a toxic relationship and you had pain, you will feel this pain again and again and again.
I don't want to feel that pain again and again and again. I don't want to feel it ever again.
No, but I just want to, because I did ayahuasca a few times also with people that had a lot of pain and of misabuse and everything. And the thing is that ayahuasca makes you live through this pain again, but also shows you a little bit why it happened, and maybe even why you should be able to forgive the person that did the wrong thing.
I totally forgive him. I have no harsh feelings towards him. Like for everything that happened in that relationship, I have totally no harsh feelings, and I only wish him all the best. I hope he gets well. I hope he gets drug free. And, you know,
so we're talking about Adam, aren't we?
No, we're talking about dark energy at this point.
Energy.
So I won't give his real name.
Just a shout out to Adam. Adam, take some ayahuasca.
So, you know, I don't wish him like any ill, but the thing is, in that relationship, you know, it takes two toxic people to become, and, you know, the more toxic he became, the more toxic I became. So I'm not saying that I am an angel, because I wasn't. And it's like, you know, he would push my buttons, I would push back. So, you know, and with somebody that's got an addiction, it's really not good, because that sort of, you know, that drives that toxicity in that relationship. And it's like, you know, coming out of that, I had to have a lot of therapy to get my emotional control back in track. And it's like, it just wasn't happening in, you know, that situation. Normally I'm really good, but, you know, in that situation, and wanting something for someone more than they want it for themselves is never a good thing. If that makes sense.
What's the status of ayahuasca? Not, you know, I know you're not going to care too much about the legal status, but for people that do, it's a legal substance, or
in the Netherlands it's just legal. You know, in the Netherlands it's like officially done in ayahuasca churches, and it's like every week 200 people do it there together. You know, it's as long it is in a religious setting, it's legal, because it's something that came from Peru, from, you know, the people there that did it as a religional setting. You know, I've met people that give their babies a drop of ayahuasca, you know, every day.
Wow.
No way.
It's not something you would take recreationally.
It's not something that you take for babies. It's not.
Lisa, in Peru, the people give their kids ayahuasca on a daily basis, because they don't want their kids to be thinking in the box. They want the kids to be connected with nature, spiritual world, and life. So ayahuasca has been there for many, many more years before that we even existed. And yes, there are like huge parts of the world where they are taking ayahuasca in a daily basis, and even give their children ayahuasca. You can see it. It's not kind of, you know, if it would be a drug, I would be very open and honest to tell it, because I did it many times. And I have never experienced a drug where if I open my eyes, I can just stand up, go to the toilet, take some drink, don't feel anything. When I lie down back, I close my eyes, bam, you're back into this whole new. It's different. It's just different. I can't relate to it as a drug where, you know, where I see if you take LSD or whatever, and you see this midget around, can't them disappear. They will just be running around, you know. And ayahuasca is completely different. It's a sweet grandmother giving you exactly what you can handle. If you can't handle it, they won't go too deep into that part of your issues.
Lisa, you and I are doing ayahuasca for the first time together.
I'm not doing ayahuasca.
On camera.
No.
On camera.
I got
Monday.
the one and only time I got talked into doing, like, agreed to do something, is it ended up on the internet. So there's no way anything.
That was a very, very different substance with a very different result.
Yeah. Did you already put that on as an NFT online or not?
Crypto.
No. Oh my God.
I'm still in shock that there was a website already there.
I'm not turning up to next week's show because you guys are like, oh my God. So yeah, so we've established Lisa's not doing any ayahuasca. Lisa's not going back to dark energy. Lisa's revoked Adam's boyfriend card, and Lisa's not doing the show next week.
Yeah, and I want to add something to this, Sean. I think Lisa, you know, we were talking about this. What's the guy? Chico?
Oh, Chico Crypto, yeah.
You know, he was saying that that the gaps is going to be filled. I think that
there's no gaps filled. No.
I think that is the problem at the moment. I think because Lisa's gap is not being filmed, she's a little bit bitchy at the moment. You know, it's Oh, sorry, I needed to say that one. That wasn't really nice.
Oh my God, I actually have to tell you a story.
But Lisa, I have something for you.
Give me strength. Anyway.
Sorry, what's your story, Lisa?
Okay.
How do you top that?
It was a good joke.
I just. You guys are so annoying.
Sean, that will be the title. Because the gaps is not being filled, Lisa is.
Lisa's gaps are not being filled. Yeah. Anyway, so
I just do that.
I don't know how I come up with this shit. Sorry, it's ayahuasca did it to me.
I'm sorry for everyone watching this. If you're still watching this, please tune out.
I'm gonna timestamp the video. Quickly go to this bit.
Yeah. You gotta zoom out.
Zoom out and just go to this bit. It's like harassing Lisa the part. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure of the Adam status. It's off at the moment. So I decided I clicked onto this dating app called Hinge. Okay. Anyway, so universe decides to give me this sign, and I'm like, do they I can't even say that word, alphabetize their people on the site, because the first 13 people that I got were all named Adam.
Lisa.
And I'm just like, are they trying to give me a sign or what? And I'm just like, delete.
Abraham?
No, they were all Adam.
I know what you need, Lisa. I have it
What?
here. You need an apple.
What do I need an apple now?
Don't you know the story of Adam and Eva and the apple?
See, look, I screenshot it. Can we see that?
Take the apple.
They're all Adams. There was like 13 of them in a row, and I'm just like, what the hell is happening here? It's like, universe, what are you trying to tell me? So
I had a different Adam every day for the next 2 weeks.
I could. It's like
it's a lot of gaps to fill. Goodbye.
On that note, it's been the most psychedelic of episodes, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully Lisa's back here next Monday. Will be nice.
I'm not coming back because they're not nice to me. It's like there's no. Talk to the hand.
We might see you next Monday.
No. Talk to the hand with my big scar on it.
See you next week, people. Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.